We analyze global politics, financial markets, macroeconomics, and digital assets, helping investors see tomorrow before the rest of the world. Welcome to Era of Changes.
Today in this video, we're going to be talking about a topic that, well, many of you have specifically requested. It seems to be about some distant and confusing cryptocurrency will actually affect every single grandmother, every pension fund in the Russian Federation, every retirement pension in the European Union and the United States, and absolutely every single person who eats, drinks, and walks on this earth today. And I'm not talking about something abstract, but about laws that have already been passed, and suspiciously passed at the same time. You know, it is actually quite interesting how they're coordinating everything. I warned you before, and here is the forecast given 3 years ago, that by the year 2026, around the month of August, they'll have you corralled with this cryptocurrency, and you won't be able to do anything at all about it. But most interestingly, the second forecast is beginning to materialize right after it. They're implementing this massive digital sphere into the lives of even everyday retired pensioners, even simple public sector workers, and so on. I might be overstating the situation just a slight amount, of course, but only just a tiny bit so that you can at least fully appreciate the immense significance and practical value of this information. In fact, it is my sincere suggestion that you watch today's video a couple of times to really absorb every single one of the subtle nuances and intricate details I'm going to be sharing with you today. This is information that we, a group of analysts, have gathered and analyzed, and we're giving it to you today. The European economy is stagnating, and this hasn't just been going on for a month. You've all heard the major scandals involving the bankruptcies of large technology holdings and automotive industrial holdings. This is just an indicator of one of the biggest, recessions probably in recent decades that has started in the European Union. And I'll say only one thing. Get your capital out of Europe, save your capital. I get a lot of calls from clients, like I had a business case just yesterday. A client says, that's it, we're opening a major business in Europe now, and so on. In terms of guarantees, well, on one hand, it's better than in some, Southeast Asian country. But on the other hand, remember, when major crises begin, the European Union sucks the life out of everyone living and working within it. You can't keep money in bank accounts anymore. And I'll say more, I'll say even more. Well, Switzerland, there is no doubt about it. It is the gold standard, as they say. But as for everything else, I will tell you this. Keeping your money in euros right now is just, incredibly foolish. Because the economy is stagnating and the euro is going to decline significantly, 100%. I gave a forecast, it's 0.80 to the dollar. Just imagine, they'll shift it down by 25 to 30%. And they'll start predatorily liquidating corporate accounts and freezing personal accounts under all sorts of plausible pretexts. They'll come up with anything they can, just, nitpicking over the smallest details. Oh, your comma is in the wrong place, so that's it, we're freezing it. Come back in 10 years once you've proven that it's actually yours. That's what's coming now. So why did we start talking about Europe just now? How is this connected to crypto? And here they are, realizing exactly where things are headed. At the same time as Russia, as I said, suspiciously in sync, they are now adopting the MiCA regulations. Well, to be honest, this complex MiCA regulation, it's really like, it's an economic Kama Sutra, I actually spent a long time carefully reading it all. So before I tell you this, I'm giving you the quintessence, as they say, of my conclusions. It's like they position it as investor protection, but in fact, it's total fiscal control and a ban on undesirable stablecoins. Why are they doing this? To stop money from being withdrawn so that it's impossible to move money past them, right past their mouths. And the EU effectively stopped being a safe haven the moment they adopted this. And I wouldn't maintain capital in European banks anymore, as I have previously stated, but you must also pay very close attention to crypto exchanges, specifically European crypto exchanges, European crypto wallets, and all those platforms with European licenses that this new MiCA regulation is giving them right now. One of our partners, I won't name the company we work with directly, and we handle our company's transactions over in Europe. Yesterday, I got a notification. We're starting in August, working with USDT and moving to only USDC and only to specific wallets and only after a confirmation process has been finished. And I got curious about how it's all connected. And then I look at the adoption dates for this MiCA and so on. It all clicked for me. And then you already know what this is about. And how are they going to crack down on this? Well, look, how does Ethereum differ from the Tron network, ERC from TRC? This is primarily due to their inherent ability to block transactions. That is to say, it is much easier to monitor, track down, identify, and permanently ban any wallet there. Is it perfectly clear where all of this is heading? I warned you about this. I truly warned you. This is particularly true for the world of business. When you take a close look at how settlements are handled, you're now visible from head to toe, and all your transactions are exposed. And if they go through this system, they're now just very easy to monitor and track. That's all. That's how they work. This is Europe. First, let's count them off. I like counting them off. So first, naturally get away from EU oversight. Completely withdraw crypto from regulated exchanges. There's no other way. They've passed it, so we act, we react. Carry out this entire withdrawal into fiat through banks in neutral jurisdictions like Turkey, the Middle East, and Asia. And then, accordingly, carefully manage that fiat currency at various locations over there, either through their professional brokers or directly into your own secure personal wallets. Next, you should proceed to change your tax residency. This is mandatory. If you're currently a tax resident in Europe and you purchase all of these assets with crypto, the regulation there is exceptionally strict and rigorous. They'll pursue legal action against you later because all transactions are visible, including cryptocurrency ones. Now, following the official adoption, I strongly emphasize this once again, your cryptocurrency transactions in USDC, ERC, or USDT, ERC will now be completely visible. They've implemented tracking for all these things. You see, for individuals who possess significant amounts of capital, it's even more mandatory to move to countries with a considerably lower tax burden. And the overall tax climate should be at least 15 to 20% more favorable than yours, so that your transaction costs, if you're running a business, I'm telling you this as a professional consultant now, can be easily passed on to the buyer so they won't even notice. Well, in general, if it's for settlements, in crypto as well, those are specific details that probably belong in a detailed private consultation. But nevertheless, it is something to consider. And to protect against the upcoming euro devaluation, transfer your liquid assets to brokerage accounts. This includes options such as, if you're in Europe, interactive brokers accounts, or another broker like Exante, or any other reliable provider. You could buy, for example, United States government treasury bonds, exchange-traded funds on them, and on indices. There are a wide variety of bond-related investment options available there. That's probably the only thing that comes to mind right now. What would you say is a total must-have for business for the upcoming period of the next 6 months? Or even a full year, I would say. Because everything we are running into now, so to speak, it is just like kids sticking a stick into the mud, with all their very might, playing Indians or something like that. That's what they're doing to your capital right now. They've just nailed it down. To protect your business, you have to withdraw it and move your processing out of the EU. That's my advice to you. Re-register the company, if possible, in the States, for example. They aren't afraid of sanctions there, and Asia is not bad either. Asia is remarkably diverse, not just China, there's Thailand, Vietnam. So you can circulate your funds there and set up international payment systems and connect to them directly. Move away from and eliminate this European regulatory compliance and start doing regular business operations normally there without all their markets in crypto assets regulation and other similar restrictive legal requirements. In America, by the way, it's not any easier, but they're trying to sign the so-called Clarity Act. But as soon as that happens, the trap will close, the loop will be complete. So you see, third world countries in Europe start passing these laws, and then the United States will put the lid on it, and that's it. And crypto will be completely, let's say, under their thumb. There, you don't even need to think about it. And when I said that those who bought crypto 3 years ago with money they brought in haphazardly through P2P, you won't be able to sell it later. I did try to warn you about this. This is exactly what we've come to now, so here you go. You'll only be able to withdraw this money to yourself through complex money laundering schemes, official salary payments, or something else like that, with a significant loss of about 15%. And even then, you'll honestly have to jump through a lot of difficult hoops and hurdles just to get it back into your bank accounts. Gradually, in small parts. Well, there are various schemes. Believe me, I really know what I'm talking about here. That's exactly what we do. But you have to understand it's just not like it used to be in the past. Buy, sell, withdraw, live on that. So, that is all for now. It is finally over. Now that we have discussed the broader economic landscape, regarding this crypto market, the future forecasts remain basically the same. The performance of oil was quite pleasing as it fulfilled our forecast. We saw sharp growth followed by a pullback, exactly as we predicted. Expect a second wave, a big one, of growth. The next target is around the area above 100, then a fourth pullback and a fifth wave to around 140. Nothing changes. Expect major geopolitical shocks and disruptions now in the Middle Eastern theater of military operations. I'm expecting it to happen at virtually any moment from now, because Trump is running out of time before the upcoming elections. He needs it. He absolutely and desperately needs a breakthrough. Besides, Xi Jinping will soon make an official visit to meet with him in the United States. And it's necessary that by that time the second round of negotiations takes place from a position of strength. And for this, he will force it. Maybe he'll bury the infantrymen again. He's losing equipment there actively. The US is actively losing equipment. Airplanes, large ships, and people are losing their lives. Well, that's it. A full-scale war is underway. Well, and I think that they will use the first either chemical or some kind of bacterial weapon somewhere now. The first on Iran. As for the nuclear bomb, a little bit later on, not now, it will be somewhere around that time, well, closer, probably to the presidential elections in the United States in 2028. And until that time, they will well be exploding huge bombs there now, and chemical ones apparently, and just as predicted. Right there, that is exactly where they are, obstructing the passage through Hormuz again now. They will likely start launching more frequent and intense attacks at US ships, including, and I don't rule this out, the possibility of actually sinking some aircraft carrier. That is precisely where the big escalation will be. Meanwhile, gold still has significant room to decline even further. Maybe with a bounce, but global targets are way up. 12,000, 8,000 there, 12,000. That is for later, much further down the line. So I wouldn't allocate gold, I'd wait. Well, and the dollar will grow. For now, my positions are well in the black. I actually bought, as you know, ETFs on the dollar itself. Roughly speaking, it's very good, performing well, plus they pay dividends in dollars. That is UUP, for those of you who might not know exactly what kind of exchange-traded fund that is. Well, and I think the portfolio will keep growing, and I'll probably, well, by the end of this year, if we reach the 120 index, maybe I'll lock it in. I'll definitely write about it on our official website. I explain everything in detail there for everyone. People ask, oh, oil, what are you waiting for? It's not growing. Guys, everything is strictly according to plan. In general, the whole forecast that's happening now, it's all exactly 1-to-1. Open it, check for yourselves. Well, yes, it's not dollar for dollar, but the overall trend was completely read by us. We bought assets, we're holding them and riding. Everything's great. I think when we finally reach the end of this year, we will definitely provide a detailed report, as we always do, on all the entire work we've successfully completed. By the way, I'm recording this on Wednesday. You'll see it on Friday. Our analytical agency's comprehensive report for the first 4 months will be out, covering the next 4-month period of this current year. We report 3 times a year, and plus once a year we do a general report. You can explore all of these details on our website and witness firsthand the quality of our work. As of today, in general, that's all I have on the economy.
Our weekly trading results. Join for free, subscribe, and get early access to forecasts.